Hey guys, Ash here, Rayshot Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you're going through something and you need them out there today. Today, we're going to do it, man. It's a very ambitious task here. We're going to very subjectively rank off the top 40 legendary champions here for the one and only time in 2025 before we get the new Roman Greco-themed, rather, new faction in the game in a couple months here as well. It's a good time to kind of take stock and inventory of where we sit in terms of my personal opinion on the best legendary champions out there. It also gives me a great excuse to talk about some of these champions that may have, slipped under the radar for you guys. Either they're brand new or they get a buff or, maybe they just emerged in the meta overall. I probably in the future, I'm going to have to start breaking this down into PvE and PvP lists separately, but I did try to do my best to, combine how strong they are in one area and counterbalance, how good or useless they are in the other. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling. Let's go ahead and jump into it. At number 40. Number 40 is going to be Nishak Verminlord. Listen, I figured I had to include Nishak on the list. He's the best legendary bomber, and frankly, I don't think it's even close. With all apologies to the Fusion, he's actually not bad in my opinion, but nobody can hold the candle to Nishak. He's got the bomb placement and then the extra turn. Not the fill turn meter, just the extra turn where he can reduce the detonation and just absolutely decimate everybody in the arena and anywhere you need bombs in PvE, especially Bommel. He is the GOAT, he's the best, so he had to be on the list for me. Number 40 is Nishak. And by the way, all of those poisons that the bombs turn into, that's freaking amazing too. So Nishak comes in at number 40. At number 39 is going to be, I had to include her on the list. She's just so strong. Mithrala Lifebane, man. She's got those poisons on the A1 that can be a benefit. Sometimes they can be a detriment to your team, just depending on where you are, but overall, really good to have. We have an increased defense, an increased attack, and a Hex with the Cleanse, the Shield, the Strengthen. She brings so much to the table. Both 3-turn cooldowns when booked. I love how the books go right to the cooldowns on her as well. And then she has an incredibly useful passive, especially in the arena with that jacked up resistance, as well as the Petrification, which can be so annoying. Really Arbias-like in terms of that petrification on the passive. Even stronger, one could argue. She really does have that overall utility that is really unparalleled by most legendary champions out there in PvP and in PvE. That's Mithrala Lifebane. You kind of just slaughter into any team and immediately you're looking at a more powerful team. Number 38 on the list is Vault Keeper Wixwell. Listen, man, if I'm going to include Titus, spoiler alert, I got to include Wixwell. Sometimes Wixwell gets overlooked even though he's such a crucial part of so many amazing teams, not just Titus teams, but it's really that Grow Shield ability and the fact that the rest of his kit is pretty solid as well. Even in Hydra, Head of Decay is a great provoker because it's 100% if the target is a boss when he's booked on that A1. So he just lends a lot of support to any team, and then he's also a crucial and, an imperative part of all the best teams, especially when we talk about clan boss in the game. That's Vault Keeper Wixwell. The community did a hell of a good job. We voted on his skills, damn it, and we nailed it on this one. Next up, you just can't get rid of this dude. It's Ninja. Yeah, man. Maybe 37 is a huge snub to Ninja, but as you guys will see as we make our way up this list here, it becomes very, very difficult. Really a matter of personal preference between even 37 and 17 in a big way. But Ninja is still the boss killer in the game. He's got the Hail Burn, the activation, and then you can get that cooldown down as well. So he's just one of the fast burn combustors, burn activators out there in the game. Moreover, he's got the AoE freeze, he's got the escalation, so you can use him in a wide variety of content from Dark Fae to clan bosses and every other boss in the game for the most part, right? So Ninja just still shines in his overall PvE versatility, and he should be a staple of most accounts out there. Even whales I've talked to, they're like, yeah, I got away from using Ninja, then I went back to him, and surprisingly, he was still better value over replacement over X, Y, or Z champion that they had been using previously. So Ninja comes in at number 37. Number 36 is one of my personal favorites. You guys may or may not know or care, but Rodus the Lost Groom is my favorite nuker in the game, my favorite damage dealer in the game. He's a tough one to kind of handicap here on the list because 35 seems fine to me, the fact that he made the list, being such a one-dimensional, I don't mean that in a bad way, but he's a single target damage dealer, right? That's what he is. but the fact that he made the list as a single target damage dealer over basically every other champion out there in the game. I always prefer, by the way, when I do rankings, support over damage. So you'll find, I'm sure there's a lot of damage dealer snubs on this list today. Anyway, Rotos is the exception to the rule because Rotos, when he gets going, when he gets cooking in the arena, he can be better than any mythical in the game. Listen, I have a +3 fully awakened Siegfried, no big deal. But I still use Rotos quite a bit more. I recorded my final hour of pushing platinum, my top finish, it was like top 150, I think, last week. And you guys saw in a lot of comments how often I use Rose the Lost Groom. He's just a beast damage dealer. He can chain reaction those turns. He's a monster. Rotos comes in at number 36. 35 is the Christmas tree curmudgeon here. That's Feral the Barkhorn. Man, 'tis the season, right, Feral? 'Tis the season, you big fella. Why you so sad, man? Why you so angry? He's like, why are they dressing me up like a Christmas tree?
No witnesses?
All right, so Feral's a beast, right? He's got the decreased speed at 100% landing. He has the ignore target's resistance, which is really a mythical-esque type ability in this game. He's got the decreased accuracy, the block buffs, tremendous in Hydra especially, but the increased resistance, the perfect veil on everybody as well. But really, it's the spirit of the North that makes him so incredibly special, especially if the allies under 4 more buffs increase their damage dealt by a whopping 20%. That is insane. It's just built in on his passive, and of course it stacks with all your other damage escalators, your feral sets, your protection sets, etc. So yeah, Feral the Barkhorn, because of this passive, the rest of his kit's good too, makes the list at number 35. At number 34, it's good old Trunda Gilt Mallet. Listen, she's not a beast anywhere other than Hydra, but in Hydra, she's the second best DPS in the game still. They can't get rid of Trunda. They tried reworking her, and it didn't really change anything at all, did it? You know? Still, Trunda teams are some of the most powerful out there. Again, kind of the second best team in terms of overall comp, overall damage potential out there, and just plug and play nuker, right? She's amazing. She's not the force she once was years ago in the arena or other areas of the game outside, you know, faction wars, wave content, stuff like that. So I have her at a respectable 34 here on the list. Next up is Elva Autumnborn. Elva is an elite single target reviver. She has a revive on a 3-turn cooldown, which is fantastic, being a single target revive. She has speed in all battles. She got heals on the passive, perfect veil on the passives, and just an insanely good A2 ability on Nature's Path, where you have the cleanse, the increased speed, and the block debuffs. 2-turn duration on both the buffs, 3-turn cooldown on the ability. She just ends up being an elite healer and support champion and reviver, all built into one, with the speed aura, with a fast 110 base speed. There's a lot to love about Elva Autumnborn, one of the top supports out there, especially in Sylvan Watchers, but moreover inside the entire game. Coming in at number 32 is Feedy Tealcrest. Feedy, I don't have Feedy, but boy, do I want this dude. He's a beast, right? Very, very unique and very powerful kit with the perfect veil, the increased resistance, and the decreased ally active skills by 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. Very, very good ability. And then the AoE with the block buffs, decreased speed, and a turn meter fill, again on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. What a great kit. Useful passive as well. Not a bad heal on the A1. A lot to love about Feedy, especially in PvE environments over the course of longer battles such as Hydra Clan Boss. Comes in at number 32. Coming in at number 31 is the first of only 2 ties on our list. Sorry, guys. Top 42 just doesn't have the same ring as top 40, but I could not decide between these 2 options here. So this one and the next one will be a tie. We get Estrid Dreamsong. Estrid is just absolutely perennially overlooked by the player base. I mean, some of you guys are smart, my viewers, but some people just don't use her enough. She's one of the best fusions of all time. I really, truly mean that. She's got an elite 115 base speed, 21k on the HP. She's tanky as all get up. She has heals on her passive. She's got a sleep on her A1. She's got a decreased turn meter, decreased speed, and a weaken on an AoE 3-turn cooldown. And then she has an increased speed, increased attack, turn meter fill, extra turn. So in 1 turn, you can heal your team, you can increase speed, you can increase attack, you can take an extra turn, you can fill turn meter, you can decrease speed, you can weaken, you can decrease turn meter. This is all in 1 turn from one of the fastest champions in the game. That's Estrid Dream Song. The tie of Estrid at number 31 is with Glaciad of the Meltwater. This is a very, very good reviver. He's very fast and tanky in his own right, and he's got speed in all battles. He's also got an increased attack, a perfect veil, a turn meter fill, as well as an increased accuracy, increased defense on his AoE revive. It's not the best revive, but overall his kit's great. And what's even better is he has allies under perfect veil placed by this champion deal 10% more damage. We're always looking for those damage escalators. You put him and Feral on the same team, who we just spoke about, and then you throw on, what, a 9-piece protection on another champion? You're talking stacking damage on damage on damage on damage. It's a beautiful thing. That's Glaciad and Estrid coming in at number 31. Coming in at number 30 is Fina, the Blade of Avaria. Now, Fina, I'm sure some would have her higher on the list. With the Unities, it's tough because it's all about who you have. I mean, obviously in Faction Wars, you're going to run whoever you have, and you're going to be thrilled with Fina. But when you use Fina outside a Faction War team, it is all about the other champions you have on your account to pull off, you know, all the combos with all of the increases. That being said, she's high on the list for a reason. She's on the list for a reason, and it's because she's one of my favorite Unities in the entire game. Getting all of these with the extra turn, and then having the turn meter fill on every buff placed by her is really nice, but the magic that makes it all work is allies will ignore 5% of target's defense for each buff on them at the 3 faction allies. That's insane. That's insane. You can also reset the cooldown of all of a target skills, giving her instant synergy with Trunda teams or any elite damage dealer that you choose to put on the team beside Fina. Very, very good Unity. One of my favorites in the game, coming in at number 30. And at 29 is our other tie, our only other tie on the list. We have good old Theodore the Savant. Theodore, man, he's still one of the best activators in the game. You can make a case he's the best activator because he's activating not just poisons, but also HP burns. Moreover, he's bringing his own poisons, poison sensitivity as well. This is on all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown. He also brings the big version, obviously, of increased speed for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. He's an AoE with a decreased speed on the A1. Man, there's so much to love about Theodore the Savant, but unlike a lot of other poison activators out there, or burn activators, he brings so much more to the table. He is a one-man activator, placer, but controller as well. I really love Theodore, but I have him tied here. Man, a lot of people slept on this dude when he was a fusion. A lot of mediocre reception to Stock the Broken, but he has made his presence felt in a big, big way. He's not as utilized as Theodore in PvE, but he's definitely more utilized than Theodore in PvP by a big, big, big wide margin. That's why I thought it would be fair to call it a tie here. I mean, he's activating poisons and HP burns him as well. He's also activating continuous heals. He's also placing a couple continuous heals on a 3-turn cooldown as well as poisons. Man, this is just a great kit, but what puts him over the top, he has speed in all battles too, puts him over the top is the rig to blow when we talk about PvP. The damage inflicted by poison and burn debuffs will ignore block damage and unkillable. That's everything in this meta where block damage in Unkillable is absolutely everywhere. Stock the Broken, man. I could be underrating this dude, having him at, what, 29 on the list. He's incredible. All right, that's our second and final tie. Coming in at number 28 on the list is going to be Donatello, our first Ninja Turtle on the list. Could he be the last, you think? Stay tuned. Donatello has great base stats. He's nice and fast at 108 base speed. He's got a heal for your entire team on his A1. He's got a great kit, though. He's got increased speed, decreased cooldown of all ally skills, and he has the full cleanse, continuous heal, strengthen, and a turn meter fill. Man, on a 3-turn cooldown, this is a really, really nasty ability. Moreover, he has the Leo, the turtle, passive join in, which he can heal off of. But then he has whenever an ally is about to receive a fatal hit, he prevents that death, keeps alive with 1 HP, and then equalizes the ally's HP. I mean, that is amazing. He can protect on a 4-turn cooldown anybody who's about to die, in addition to everything else that he brings to the table. I think people are still sleeping on just how good Donatello is. That's why I have him here at 28. Coming in at number 27 is Sun Wukong, guys. Good old Sun Wu, man. This guy's hard to rank because he's so special, he's so unique. This passive is absolutely insane. Just reviving himself after 3 turns after his kill with 100% turn meter. That's nasty, but really the Staff of Wonder is one of the hardest nukes out of any legendary out there in the game. Of course, I have to put it on the list. This is the one true delete button that I still fear in the arena, especially considering this guy was free. It's really insane. He has an AoE buff steal as well, block buffs, has good utility in dungeons as well, and the speed and Arena at 28%, so he can be your lead as a damage dealer. That's can be difficult to find in this game. The Little Monkey King, Sun Wukong, comes in at number 27. Number 26 is going to be Ryo Bonespear. Ryo Bonespear, man, I think she's incredibly underrated. She's a beast in PvE. You don't see her in PvE. She's a beast in PvE. You don't see her that much in PvP. But man, she has every debuff known to man. She is probably the best. Maybe she's close with a Ramantu for a 9-piece feral set. But she's the best, I think, right? I mean, place all those debuffs on a boss, except the stun, and you're looking at like this massive 25% damage increase in a 9-piece feral. It was made for her, right? Moreover, she has a beautiful cleanse with a block debuffs, with a big heal on a 3-turn cooldown, right? And she can't, when receiving any debuffs, she returns them right back to the attacker as well. I mean, that's insane. She got continuous heals on the A1. One of, if not my favorite support champions out there in the game. Coming in at number 26, Ryo Bonespear. Coming in at number 25, let me tell you guys, I'm going to say it loud for those of you in the back. The hate has gone too far on Duchess. Listen, I might be crazy putting Duchess ahead of Glaciad, who's clearly better in PvE in my opinion, but I think that Duchess, especially with Volcanos and the power of Demon Spawn, when you take it all into consideration, I do think she is still an elite champion in this game. Like I said, people have moved away from her a little bit, but let me tell you guys, this A2 with the block debuffs, the increased attack, perfect veil is still incredibly good. Her revive is still money. You don't get turn meter, but you get a lot of survivability for the entire team. But this passive, man, especially in the arena, decrease the damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks by 25%. It's like a built-in big version of Strengthen, just all the time. And obviously it stacks with Strengthen too. Just built into her passive on AoE attacks. That is so incredibly strong. I mean, when you're playing a Reviver, you want a lot of damage mitigation, obviously, right? And you have the damage mitigation, but you also have the Perfect Veil, which also has a 15% AoE damage mitigation built into that as well. So when you have Duchess on your team, you're rocking 40% less damage when you're under the Perfect Veil than you normally would. That's absolutely huge. There's no other champion like that. I guess an honorable mention to a Harima. She works quite differently, but that's the only other damage mitigator I would put on the same level as a Duchess when we speak about PvP. And she's great everywhere, right? Not just the arena. She's even good in Hydra with that Perfect Veil on her as well. So Duchess comes in at number 25. At number 24 is Lady Noelle. Lady Noelle really changed the game. She has probably the best revive in the game, right? Here it is. Hearthkeeper. Revive everybody. 50-50 turn meter HP. 3-turn freaking cooldown. And then a freeze on all enemies at the same time. I mean, back in my day, guys, we used to get freaking excited about an AoE freeze on a 4-turn cooldown. She came a few years later and she started putting freeze on everybody with a revive on an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown. Just think about that, man. Talk about power creep, right? She got speed in arena battles by 30. She's got to increase speed on the 3-turn cooldown. She has amazing synergy with Sir Nick. Just a great overall reviver, who you can rely on. And yeah, she's one of the best there. That being said, I do put her like a smidge under number 23. Number 23 is Senna Amberheart. It's tough between Lady Noelle and Senna, right? Lady Noelle's better in the arena. Senna is, it's hard to say better, but I guess better in a lot of situations in PvE, especially longer battles, because of one of the most busted passives in the game. Whenever a continuous heal activates on an ally, fills the turn meter of not just that ally, but all allies by 5% every time there's no cooldown. This is one of the best turn meter generators inside the entire game. This and maybe Androx passive. Every time a critical hit, you feel a turn meter of all allies. It's insane, really. And then the rest of her kit is wonderful as well. Speed in all battles by 19%, an increased speed, 2 continuous heals, and a 20% turn meter boost on a 3-turn cooldown. What a great move, right? And then an AoE revive on a 4-turn cooldown. Then teams up with all allies revived by this attack against the enemy with the lowest HP. You attack upon the death when she goes in with her A1 on the ally attack revive, or just uses it anyway. You can have a chance of instantly activating a continuous heal. And if that happens, what else happens? Boom, it triggers the passive again. You get a turn meter boost. Beautiful synergy, amazing kit. That's Senna Amberheart at number 23. At number 22, we got Grazer Iron Gut. man, this guy's a tough dude to handicap here on the list because he's a beast. He both figuratively and literally, he is a monster. I always want to say, I want to see his face though. Grazer, what, you're getting too close, big fella. All right. Got an AoE shield on the A1. We got an AoE heal, an increased duration of all enemy buffs, and oh, by the way, it's an enemy max HP ability. He's got an AoE provoke, increased resistance, increased defense on all allies on a 3-turn cooldown, and he's got that unkillable as well, and a little bit of a heal on that passive, man. He brings so much to the table like his papa, Krisk the Ageless, even though they're not even the same faction. I put them in kind of the same sort of category with the 3 AoEs that are doing so much else on a big tanky character model. 20 is Grand Oak Patrick, but Grand Oak, man. The other Christmas curmudgeon here next to Farrell, man. They do really fit together well, right? And they're right next to each other on the I mean, there's Santa and there's his log tree bark horn. There we go. Grand Oak Patrick, man, this guy, I don't know. It becomes impossible to rank from here on out, guys. What do you want me to say? 21 on the list. This guy's a maniac. He's insanely good. He's placing a buff on whoever needs, he's going to give whoever needs whatever they need. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't, but you guys get the point. His passive is buffing everybody at the start of his turn, right? Your attackers get increased attack, your defense gets increased defense, support increased accuracy. Everybody gets it every turn. You also have an A3 where you get a turn meter fill, a cleanse, and an increased speed on a 3-turn cooldown, along with an ally attack where we can fully restore allies destroyed max HP and place a continuous heal on all allies. So my man is healing, he's ally attacking, he's cleansing, he's increased speeding, he's buffing everybody. He's also decreasing cooldowns of random allies on his A1. This dude is a jack of all trades. And man, he's a beast. He really power crept this game when he was added. One of the most wanted PvE champions out there in the game. That's Grand Oak at number 21. All right, guys, we're moving into the top 20 with Shuzhen the Valorous. Shuzhen, man. I mean, she's one of the most unique champions in the game. You can make the argument she's the best turn meter booster in the entire game, bar none, because she can grant, and only she can grant, an instant turn with an active skill. You can just hand it to whoever you want to. Moreover, she's going to set them up with all the damage dealing buffs that attack-based damage dealer could ever want. Increase crit rate, increase crit damage, increase attack, and boom, you go. I mean, she changed things. In the arena, anybody on the team could plausibly be moving at the speed of Shuzhen. Moreover, she has a great charge of the Valorous on her A3 ability, where you get an increased speed, a decreased speed, a turn meter fill, and a turn meter decrease, all in the same ability. And then you have blocked active skills, great in the arena on her A1 ability. That's Shuzhen the Valorous. Definitely an arena beast. Well, speaking of arena beasts, we have Nave, Spear of Nyressa, or Naime, as I butcher her name. Listen, she is so freaking good. I'm putting her over Shuzhen, putting her at 19. She's just really one of the best defensive arena champions in the entire game. So I don't know, maybe I should put her higher on this list, but either way, here she is, and she's insane. If you have her, congratulations, because you have one of the best tanks, meat shields in the entire game. And yeah, she has this great heal, block debuffs, ally protection, 3-turn cooldown. You want to run her in 9-piece protection if you have the gear. Even if you have to take a big stat sacrifice. She has a hard-hitting A2, and the target is killed. You reduce the cooldown of all ally skills by 2 turns. That's amazing as well, right? She has a great A1 with a decreased attack, a decreased crit rate, and it can't be resisted. Or it's like a 75% chance it can't be resisted. A great way to neutralize somebody on the enemy team. Maybe they don't land a critical attack, right? It's a 30% decreased crit. Very, very nice. But what makes her so good is the block damage on all allies at the start of the round. Again, if that's protected, that's a protected block damage. You can't do anything about that unless you have somebody who ignores block damage, of course. And then if there are multiple champions, every time this champion's HP drops below 50%, you also place a block damage, which synergizes beautifully with the ally protection. She's taking a lot of damage because of the ally protection. It's really, really nice. She's amazing. That's Neve, Naime, Spear of Nyressa. Next up at 18 is a champion so new, he's not even in the game yet, but I'm going to put him at 18, but odds are he's actually going to be a hell of a lot higher than 18. I'm talking about Gallet, Son of the Pact. He's brand spanking new. Like I said, From the time that I'm recording this, he's not even in the game yet. What does he do that I'm ranking him so highly? He's got a decreased duration of all buffs on the target, placing a block buffs on his A1, protected when placed on bosses. Very nice. He has an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown on his A2. 100% chance when booked to placing a stun on an AoE, and a decreased defense for 2 turns. Also decrease the turn meter of all enemies without a stun by 30%. Great control, decreased defense ability. And then, on the Blood of the Pact, this is where things get really interesting here. A full cleanse on all allies with a heal, 25% of this champion's max HP. Place a shield on them as well, 25% of this champion's max HP. Also places a Fortify buff on them for 2 turns. But where it all becomes magical is the passive. For every 10 debuffs this champion's team receives, activates the pact, the Blood of the Pact. Right? So you get the cleanse, the heal, and the shield, and the fortify for every 10 debuffs. Man, that's nasty. Doesn't put the skill on cooldown either. I have Gallet, Son of the Pact, coming in at number 18. Coming in at 17 is Queen of Hearts. Boy, do I want this champion, damn it. She's so good. She's super fast. She's got an AoE, decreased defense, big version with a turn meter fill on an A1. This feels like it should be an A3. Like back in the day, if this was the premier part of a champion's kit, you'd be like, wow, what a great champion back in the day. Nowadays, that's her A1 ability, right? She's got a buff removal, a death brand, which can block revival, a true fear, turn meter fill. She's got the ally attack with the increase attack, decrease the cooldown of the A2 if the target is killed. Oh my word, but what makes her even more incredible is of course the Hail to the Queen passive. For every 10 buffs the enemy team receives, grants this champion an extra turn. Man, the receive buff, she comes in, she removes the buff, she death brands them, she comes back in with the turn meter fill, and she ally attacks and she kills them, and then she decreases the cooldown of the A2. What beautiful synergy here, guys. Man, and she's joining in on the ally attack, thus she's placing the decreased defense as well, and more turn meter fill. Queen of Hearts, man, it might be a snub to put her at 17. At 16 is Yumeko. I mean, I gotta have Yumeko high on the list, man. She's still just the quintessential manipulator in the game of Raid Shadow Legends. The Dance of Time is beautiful and there's no skill like it. There's no skill that can reduce the cooldown of all allies at the same time increase the cooldown of all enemies. It's a beautiful, beautiful ability, one of the most powerful in all Raid Shadow Legends. She has a great A2 with the Hex that bounces debuffs back. Great for like situations like Bommel. And then she has a perfect Veil in this champion for 2 turns at the start of each round. Great for the arena as well because she's immune to debuffs while she's under a Veil or perfect Veil. I mean, what a great champion. You know, you can use her absolutely everywhere. A Seer team, a Poison Combust team, kind of reset champion. This is a traditional Kymar reset. Or you can use her in the arena as a Warlord-esque type champion. Or you can use her in the arena after your team gets locked out. You can build her with high resist so she can come back and reverse the lockout and reduce their skills at the same time, controlling the opponent. You can use a double Yumeko team with Trunda or some of the elite damage dealers we've been talking about in this video. There's so many beautiful synergies with Yumeko. She comes in at number 16. All right, number 15 on the list, guys. We're getting to the best of the best of the best of the best categories here. Sulfurion comes in at number 15 on the list. This guy's a monster. Yeah, he's a reviver with an extra turn if you get the revive. But then you have the burns and the burn activation along with the shield, right? But what makes this champion so unbelievably magical is all of this synergy on the passive. He gets so much faster, increases champion's speed by 7 for each active burn, but also becomes one of the more capable turn meter boosters in the arena because fills a turn meter of all allies by 5% for each HP burn placed. So you get a 20% turn meter fill when you come in and you crack those stone skins in the arena. Moreover, you can use them anywhere and everywhere you want a burner and a burn activator in PvE. I'm talking Ice Golem hard. I'm talking Spider and anywhere else that you need some burn. Frost Spider, whatever. Sulfurion is a beast basically everywhere in the game. Comes in at number 15. Coming in at 14 is Siphi, the Lost Bride. We talked about Rotos earlier in the video. Siphi, man, she's got one of the best control A1s in the game in the arena with that sleep. It's so nasty. She's got an elite A2 ability. You get the turn meter fill, increased defense, block debuffs, and an increased speed. It is on a 4-turn cooldown, but it's still a money ability. She's got a great revive with a full turn meter, and then she's got that heal on the passive. She's also removing freeze fear, and true fear at a 50% clip from allies at the start of their turn, which is really, really nasty as well. Full cleanse on Rodos. She's elite, a lot of tankage, a lot of speed, and she's Siphi, man. You can plug and play Siphi. I run her in Sand Devil. I threw in my Iron Twins team, and she just stayed because she's that elite of a buffer, of a reviver, and she's just so tanky herself. And of course, she's one of my favorite champions on arena offense. Kind of tough right now for Siphi. That's why she's not top 10 on arena defense and live arena, because she is so easily countered by Nels and the Volcanos' teams. But still, she is elite overall. She comes in at number 14 on the list. 13 on the list is Krisk the Ageless. Krisk. Ah, man, I put him high because he belongs here, man. He belongs this high. I love him in a curse set with the AoEs everywhere, but he's ultimately one of the most essential plug-and-play champions in this game. Meaning you can use him absolutely anywhere. I mean, he's not known for the arena nowadays, but you can still use him in the arena as a curveball if you're not like top whatever in Platinum Arena. But with the buff extension, he can be used on any Wixwell and Titus team. He's got the AoE decreased speed. He's got the increased speed and the provoke for your team. He's such a beast in Hydra, but he's a beast everywhere. I remember when I pulled Krisk, he really just unlocked what I was able to do everywhere in my account. I still think he's an elite, versatile option in the game. That's why he comes in at number 13. Coming in at number 12 is Newt. Oh, Newt. He's still an absolute monster. He just gets hurt a little bit in the rankings. I say hurt, he's at freaking 12 on the list. But just because he's a PvE beast, right? You don't run Newt in the arena, certainly. But he's still an elite PvE beast. He is one of the best PvE champions still to this day, a couple of years after his fusion right now in the game. He's got such elite control on his A1 ability. Whether you're talking Fire Knight hard or anywhere else susceptible to turn meter decrease, he has it on his A1. Each hit 15%. Think about that. That's elite control, right? Then he has the AoE decrease attack and weaken. He's got a counterattack on himself, thus more control. And then, of course, the Blessed Bash, that big monster enemy max HP ability. Newt is one of those champions that is so good that you don't even want to empower this dude. You just want to keep building dupes of Newts because he's that good that you just want more of him. Newt comes in at number 12. Number 11. Boy, do I want this dude. People are still sleeping on just how good this new champion is, and that's Oscarin the Defiler. This guy is really nasty, okay? He's pretty fast, 109 base speed. He's got speed in arena battles. On his A1, he's got reduced the cooldown of a random active skill by 2 turns, fills the turn meter of all allies by 10%. That's a 75%, by the way, of reducing the random active skill on the target by 2 turns. Really good A1. It's especially good because he has a team up with all allies ally attack as well. So he's reducing skill cooldowns when he joins in on his A3 in addition to his A1. Moreover, it's one of the best ally attacks in the entire game, with an increased attack and a shatter on all allies. And he also decreased the cooldown of all allies skills except this champion by 1 turn if the target is killed. For me, it's Mikage, it's Queen of Hearts, and it's Oscarin in terms of the best ally attackers in the game. And you can make a case that Oscarin might be number 1, just given the cooldown reduction and given that he brings the increased attack and the shatter. Woo! If that's not enough, we remove all buffs on the A2. We decrease the turn meter of all enemies whose turn meter is equal to or lower than 50% by 20%. If they're more than 50%, we decrease by 50% on a 3-turn cooldown. And by the way, we place a not guarantee, we put a 100% stun on enemies whose turn meter was reduced below 50%. That's basically going to be everybody more often than not, right? We're not done yet. Allies inflict 20% more damage against enemies under stuns, right? Whenever an ally is killed, instantly activates the magic of Irith as well, which is the remove all buffs and decrease all enemies' turn meters. What? This guy's nuts. This guy is nuts. I'm so jealous of anybody who has him. I do not. Coming in number 10, the top 10, it's going to be Lord Entertainer Fabian. Man, Fabian is so annoying. That means he's very good. He's so annoying. I feel like all I do is go against Fabian teams in the arena. Now listen, with Fabian and Armands, it's going to be the same story. These are elite arguably top 5 PvE or PvP champions, in the game. But they're still good in wave control and areas like that in PvE. They're still very, 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 very competent. We have the petrification. We have the true fears everywhere. We have turn meter control, turn meter steal on the A1 ability. And this ghost with the most passive, man, ooh, it can ruin your day, you know? Sometimes, even to this day, I'll go in the arena against a Fabian team. I'll ban somebody else in live arena, and I usually end up regretting it. I'm usually like, oh, because I like to run a lot of revivers, and he's it's just such a nuisance with all those true fears, man. Moreover, you know, this A3 is one of the best out there in the game, and it's not susceptible to polymorph as well. Man, Fabian is really, really nasty, comes in at number 10. And his brother, not really, but yeah, they're very alike. They're the most elite controllers in the game, in the arena. It's Armanz the Magnificent. I still put Armanz just a hair above Fabian, but I will say, they're closing the gap on each other. You can make the case, I believe, that I really struggled with who do I put ahead of each other. But I'd still pick Armanz because getting his turn back so quickly and then just sheeping and then just keep continuing to get turns. Armanz is one of those champions that we all know is A2 and is A3. Have the buff removal, the sheep. I mean, it's ridiculous. But you forget about the stupid little things like whenever a sheep is removed or expires, increase the cooldown of a random skill on the ally to its max. On the enemy to its max. I mean, that's insane. Fills his champion's turn meter by 10% for each turn added to the cooldown. I mean, these little things that are added to the to this champion. Again, 50% chance of increasing the cooldown of a random active skill by 2 turns on his A1. Oh, Armanz is the king of control. At this point, he's the granddaddy of control. It's been a couple of years, but Armanz is still on top of the control meta, in my opinion. He comes in at number 8. I lied. Armanz was number 9. Number 8 is Lydia the Death Siren, guys. Lydia, man, she's still one of the most versatile champions in the game. She's a champion that you wish you could get 2 of, don't you? At least I do. The AoE, this ability, this Siren's Wail, it just checks off too many boxes to put her outside the top 10 for me, right? Decrease defense, weaken, increase speed, strengthen. Okay. So basically I get everything that I essentially need on my teams in one ability. The rest of our kit is really good too. Whether we're talking Chimera Trials on this A3 ability, or in the arena, or an Ice Golem, or any boss that has minions with this Death's Hold passive is still very good. It ignores Block Revive. I think there's only 2 abilities that ignore Block Revive in this game. So yeah, I think that Lydia, I think it's 6 or 8. I can't count. I think 8 is a good spot for Lydia because there's just no replacing Lydia the Death Siren. She still is like such an amazing reward, unlike Palera, for when you actually finish Faction Wars for the first time. You will change what your account can do with the Lydia the Death Siren, and that's exactly the way it ought to be. Coming in number 7 is Volcanos Fumer. Volcanos, man. If we're talking arena, he'd be top 3, certainly top 5, but he does fall off a bit outside the arena. He's still got nice burn synergy here, but in the arena, and why he is so incredibly high on this list at number 7, he's such a game changer, man. All you got to do is pair him with one other Demon Spawn champion, whether it's a Carnage, a Lammasu, a Duchess, whoever you have. He becomes so elite because the burns placed by his passive cannot be resisted or blocked even with block debuffs, and his passive is one of the strongest in the game. Whenever an enemy receives a buff or has their turn meter increased, he places a burn. If they're already under a burn, we instantly activate instead, right? And that's a 50 booked up to 70% chance. That is so incredibly powerful. He counters most of the meta, right? Buffers, healers, right? Buffers or turn meter increasers, rather. Getting confused with Nell's passive. But man, I mean, what can I say? He's one of the most feared champions in the arena for such good reason. Now, if you put even more demon spawns on the team with him, you start getting really nasty, right? Start powering up his abilities and his damage. You get block revive potential. You get, if a target's under a burn, it will ignore stone skin, unkillable, ally protection, block damage, and shields. Man, I mean, there's a lot to love about Volcanos, but he is an absolute force to be reckoned with in the arena, coming in at number 7. All right, guys, at number 6 is going to be Odin Fae Father. That's right. I think this is probably going to be the most, I don't want to say controversial, but I don't think everybody has him as high as I have him. I think that Odin is a really special champion. Now, think about the spirit of this list here, right? A lot of the ones, just like Volcanos that we just spoke about, are a beast in one area. But Odin is a beast everywhere. He's a beast everywhere in the game. That's what makes him so amazing. In addition to have one of the most powerful on a Void team, obviously, auras in the game, in the arena, he has this amazing opening move in the arena where you're removing all buffs, you're placing a decreased defense, and a stun. I mean, talk about a control ability. But he has Asgardian Judgment, where you can revive somebody if you kill somebody. And against bosses, this is an enemy max HP ability, right? So you can 10% of the boss's HP, boom, gone. I mean, I remember using him for the first time in PvE against Dark Fae. I came in, I removed all buffs from my allies, I stunned them all, I put a decreased defense on everybody, and I was like, wow, Odin's great. He's a great opener for Dark Fae. And then I killed my allies, my mirrored version of my champions, and then I attacked Dark Fae with Asgardian Judgment. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. This is like right after I got him, right? I'm like, I forgot he's a beast damage dealer too. Enemy max HP, man. Or you can pop off somebody in the arena. You can one-shot a freaking Marichka in the arena with this ability, right? And we haven't even gotten to probably one of the most powerful things about his entire kit. Every 9 turns, you get a block damage on this champion and everybody else as well. I mean, what an elite control support, but also debuffer, also control, also damage dealer, also reviver conditionally. He's got Berserk too. Why not? I mean, you put it all together. I think that Odin, the reason I put him at number 6, I just think he's one of the most versatile and powerful champions out there in the entire game. Coming in at number 5 is Klazig Keyhulk. I don't have him, but I will someday, damn it. I will someday. This guy's a monster. Man, they've really power crept when they added him and a few others on this list to the game, right? This guy does it all, right? He transfers debuffs from this champion to the target, can't be resisted by bosses, true fear as well. This is A1, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a 2-time hitter on a 3-turn cooldown. He's placing a decreased defense, a weaken, a decreased accuracy, and a decreased resistance. That makes him an amazing feral set candidate. Holy mackerel, and we're not even halfway done. His mindless muscle, his A3 ability, has a counterattack and an unkillable on all allies. Also a taunt on himself. If a boss is there, everything's protected. Oh my word. Oh my word, man. I can't believe you get a counterattack, an unkillable, a taunt, protected on a boss on a 4-turn. With all that stuff on the 3-turn, and then we're not even done. We have an enemy max HP passive whenever this champion places a debuff on an enemy, deals damage equal to 1% of their max HP for each debuff they are currently under. Oh my word. Now we can stack up to be an elite damage dealer with a Drone of Agony synergizing with the A2, the Seismic Dissonance. Oh my word, man. He's so good. I want this dude so badly. Coming in at number 4 is Leonardo. You were waiting for him. I think 4 is a good spot for Leonardo. I could have put him higher, I think. You could make a case. He's one of the best, if not the best legendary in the game. But, you know, it does depend on the other turtles that you have on him and whatnot on the team. That all being said, he is as elite can get. He is such a force to be reckoned with, especially on all turtle teams or 2 turtle teams even. Having the TMNT unity allows him to ignore defense. He's absolutely bonkers with his stone skin that's placed on him each time his HP drops below 50%. I mean, that's absolutely insane. He's going to increase defense and ally protection as well as an unkillable and a counterattack 2-turn duration on a 3-turn cooldown. And oh, the best part is he deals so much damage, and he's tanky because he's defense-based as well. He really changed the game. The best Ninja Turtle by a mile. Well, they're all really good, let me be fair. And shout out to Mikey and especially Raffi, who could have easily made this list. But yeah, Leo is absolutely... He lived up to all the hype, all the stupid videos. Oh, is the Leo event gonna be tomorrow? Everybody's speculating, all of us, right? He lived up to the hype. And if you have him, you know. Coming in at number 3 is Titus Blackplume. Oh, Titus. Oh, Titus. Listen, you can argue he's the best PvE champion in the game. He just changed the game. Listen, I could talk all day about Titus. The knock on Titus is the same, and I always want to mention this. The knock on him is it requires setup. You can't just get Titus and then like a lot of these other champions, and then you just beat the game. You need the Grow Shield ability, you need that Brogni, or preferably the Wixwell on your team, you need the buff extenders, you need a lot. but it doesn't take away from him still being the main mechanism that allows you to pull off scores that we've never seen before in every clan boss, and for that matter, almost every boss in the entire game. It really is absolutely bonkers what he's done. How hard he can hit with this ability is just absolutely nasty. Just nasty. I mean, it's game changing, right? So Tidus is very, very difficult, you know, what to say about this dude. Some people, every time I mention him as one of the elite champions in the game, I inevitably get comments about like, yeah, Tidus isn't that good, overrated, because he requires the setup. You can see it in the in-game. But at the end of the day, he is still the driving force behind a lot of the top teams in almost every PvE area of the entire game. That's Tidus at number 3. Coming at number 2 is Marichka, the Unbreakable. Yeah, Marichka is still, you know, she's still one of my favorite champions. I didn't have Taurus on the list. There's so many snubs, by the way. You know, just a few honorables. We didn't have Tidus. We didn't have Taurus. Didn't have White Queen on the list. Didn't have Narcissus on the list. I mean, I could just keep going on and on and on. There's so many good Blade, Chorister, the Sylvan Watcher, Lord, Unity, excuse me. But Marichka does make the list, and she makes it at number 2 because she's the best support in the game, obviously, in my opinion. Speed in all battles, one of the better heals in the game, a protected strengthen, a great shield, 3-turn cooldown, a cleanse, turn meter fill, extra turn if you're removing enough buffs. She's got one of the best passives, the most essential passives, especially nowadays in the arena. I run her in Stone Skin and Relentless, and she's my most used champion in the arena. She is, especially in the meta that is dominated by Kamidases, and Nells, and Volcanoses, and Gizmax, right? You need something, and she has that block damage on Bomb, Poison, and Burn. And she revives your whole damn team on her passive, right? With no cooldown. She revives everybody, you revive her, and it happens all over again. She gives you second chance, third chance, fourth chance, fifth chance. And I haven't even touched on everything in her kit. I just think that Marichka is still the best support in the game, and I don't think it's even that close. That's Marichka at number 2. Who's number 1? Marius the Gallant is number 1. He's the number 1 champion in Raid Shadow Legends, at least in Legendaries. And you can make a case he might be overall. Listen, I was a little bit later than most, you know, content creators or hardcore players when it comes to getting Marius. I slacked a little bit. I finally got him. You know, I've had him for a while now, but still, when I did get him, he lived up to all the hype and then some. I mean, the fact that he self-buffs, especially the increased accuracy, you can build him for more damage. But this death or glory, the fact that we can remove Stone Skin, it negates to Stone Skin in the arena. The fact that it hits so hard, the fact that you can't change forms is a mythical, or you can't do anything to his turn meter at all without having to incur a hard-hitting A1 with Enfeeble on it. 50% chance. I mean, he can control in the arena. He can devastate even Stone Skin, the tankiest teams in the arena. And in PvE, he is the boss killer for me who replaced Newts. Not totally. I sometimes run a Newt in a Marius, but he's like the best damage dealer in the game in PvE, and he's one of the best, if not the best, damage dealers in the game in PvP. So how could I not put Marius number 1? He's insane, and he's tanky, and he brings all the buffs that you need. He brings increased defense for the whole turn. I mean, the only knock on him is actually one of the things I loved about him before is the stun, but now with so many wands of submission, I have to be careful with the stun, you know, getting it shot back at him or getting him sheeped or something. But, you know, anyway, Marius, that's going to be number 1 champion in the entire game for Legendaries, guys. What do you think? Who did I snub? Where do you agree with me? Where do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments below. I really enjoyed this video. If nothing else, it gives me an excuse to talk about a bunch of champions that I really, really love. Let me know who you have on this list. Let me know who you want on this list. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care, guys.